Okay, thank you very much for your patience, everybody. I think we had to get the servers straightened out, so it took us a little bit of time, but we are into the game, as you can see, into Nuke, into the pistol saw, up against Ago. Not wasting any time, our saw. Very quick here on the T side. Already lost one, as it seems it's been fairly well read. 3 ready at ramp on that CT side, and the first kill, of course, comes their way.
Plenty of numbers, and Fika as well for good measure. He's in garage. He's found 2 for his name already, and this pistol round has fallen flat on his face. For Saw, they're finding next to no damage, and I don't think a kill's very likely. So as a reminder also, map picker Saw. Looks like AGO's here has taken the CT side, as you normally would. So Saw, losing the pistol round, never really looked to have an opportunity in it, and AGO off to a flying start.
Really clean, no sweat off the brow, and again, like I mentioned, seeming to have a bit of a read. It's not like it's the rarest kind of pistol play, but they were definitely set up for the Saw move there. Gonna be a hard eco. Nothing at all purchased from Saw. Not a flash, which you sometimes see even when it's all Glocks. They are putting all their chips into that early AK rifle buy, which I think definitely works on that T side. We always love these little conversations, and you see a lot more experimentation sort of at the tier 2 level. Still feel like it's maybe not going to give you as much room as you'd like on Nuke here, right? We like to see a lot of fakes, a lot of double pumps, that kind of thing, and I don't think you're going to have an option for that now with this early rifle buy.
True. I would say one thing you do normally, though, as long as you're not feeding these P9's too many frags, is there's probably no AWP in play. You can probably get away with it. A little bit less utility, a bit more contact heavy, just taking the duels. Now, Ultimate here could buy an AWP, and indeed he does so. Saw could even trick themselves right now into thinking there isn't one in play, and as you're mentioning, because you're investing so early, yes, you got 5 smokes, but in terms of the flashes department, only 3 to get through an entire 1 minute 55. You're going to have to use those perfectly, but you could be in trouble against this AWP.
Well, we'll see. Early one first outside as they just look for an early scrap. Muterius trying to find something through the smoke. Not going to happen. So immediately back down to a standstill here on this Saw side of things. No quick rush, as you can sometimes see, right? Super early on in the game, let's just go for it. It's actually aggression from the season side. It's going to find one. Spam coming in onto Axjo here, and he will get traded out by Stododo. His flames take down Stododo, though, and Ultimate with that AWP, not expected. Those contacting in, and now a 4v2.
Always good to see the aggression. Bit of a bonus round. MP9 saved over, so right idea from AGO, and as you're mentioning, they didn't suspect that AWP to be in play. And now just 2 players remaining. I've got a few nades to their name, a few smokes, but it just feels like if AGO play for information, take that information and not force too many fights, the rotates can come in, and surely, unless Roman can do a lot of work, there can't be any opportunities. He finds the first, but those rotates are coming in, and actually, they have found an open B-bomb site. It's on Ultimate to rotate in. He's on the angle just in time, but there will be a bomb plant from Muterius.
Maybe allows them to keep rolling forwards with the buys and whatnot, but yeah, Ultimate, great opening round. 3k on that AWP that we talked about being maybe possibly unknown. Didn't quite catch how many SMG kills he picked up, but all the same, he puts in the work. The AWP has paid off, whether it was ready or not on that Saw side of things. Now, again, could go for a crazy investment here. Would assume they're just going to half buy. Actually, no, never mind. They're going to keep it up. I'm not so sure about this one personally, Alan. Maybe if they'd have brought it down to 1 or non-surviving in that AGO win. But because there were 3, the CT economy is not too bad, right? So I don't think this is really good.
And especially now with these entries, Furlan had a great spawn, and he's just taking duels straight through the squeaky doorway. And of course, considering Saw forced up with no AKs in play, he does have the superior weaponry. Gets traded in the end, but this buy is already looking like a poor decision. And if they can't find a lot of frags behind it and another bomb plant, it could set them back a lot of rounds here on the T side before they've even got a full buyout.
And this is pretty textbook for Saw, to be fair. They love a lot of aggression. They love just keeping the fights up and whatnot. But at the moment, it is running south for them. And that's kind of a conversation you can have with yourself, right? Obviously, a lot of people, and I would imagine most of the people watching the broadcast at the moment have kept up with the major. BNE, a similar sort of energy for them is that, you know, they're always looking for a scrap. They're always looking for a fight. And some of those top-level teams are maybe not expecting that so much. When you're in sort of the tier 2 level, actually, it's almost more of a rule of thumb to keep your gun up, keep your jiggle peaks and all that kind of stuff rolling so that you are always ready for the fight. And that's exactly what they're doing here on the Jaeger side of things. I think in the past, sometimes they have been a bit too passive for my money, but it seems against this Saw squad, they're, you know, really, really playing on their toes, looking great.
Does have the bomb here, does Dodo. I'll have to make noise to get towards a bomb plant. Cracks the windows. See, we'll get that money. And they will be on full loss bonus, so they might choose to invest again in the next. But any economic damage here from Dodo would be brilliant. Can't fall away, though. Fiku's doing work. Ultimate's looking good as well. And that's scary when the two heavy hitters are already up to speed.
Yeah. Really good stuff so far. Feels like it's moved insanely fast as well, to be honest. You know, yes, we're 5 rounds in. It's not that deep, but I think we've gotten here pretty quickly, considering there's 2 minutes in a round. Pause coming through here, though. So we'll see, hoping, of course, on our end that it's more of a tactical. But it's starting to extend a little bit. So maybe say a few prayers here, folks. All the same. Ah, there we go. Okay, so yes, it was a tactical. We're all good. No real investment. Okay, every time, guys, for goodness sake. They're late on the buys, Alan. What can I say? They're going to invest again.
Potentially debating that buy, I guess, in the tack. I don't see why you wouldn't invest here. The main thing is they need to find some traction, because if they don't come away with the round win, or at least a lot of economic damage, this map slips out of control so quickly. And they just absolutely zerg in towards ramp. AG have 2 in defense. And look at the individuals right here. Laman is destroying his opposing players. And just like that, up to 5 rounds, loads of money in the bank. Saw and their map pick are looking so flat right now.
Early doors, but yeah, certainly it looks very frustrated already, to be honest, and yeah, not quite disciplined enough with themselves. Maybe try and catch it. They've not played a game today, so, you know, that would be maybe one of the excuses I could have handed to them. So I think we had the same, didn't we? A couple of weeks ago when we were covering Ecstatic, they'd already played a series, you know, back-to-back into another one. It can be difficult. Especially when that series is extended on. But no excuse like that for Saw. Trying to find something for them. And really just their own fault at the end of the day. Big damage onto Fiku early on in this one. This would be a classic, wouldn't it? You're 5-0 down, rifle rounds look terrible, and you get it rolling with the pistols. That's always a fun one.
Vitirish here is doing his best to find Fiku. Surging around the vents, but Fiku's been a slippery snake. Got up the vent. Out of dodge, and he's playing A site now, so Sirius will not find his prize. Make it a 5-on-4. And it just feels like the longer Saw sort this out, the better position these rifles can get into. And Dodo's playing with fire a bit here. Fiku was playing a little bit of fire. Such low HP, and his teammate's gone down, and Scriv, this could get nasty really fast if Fiku doesn't find any damage. He goes down, 3-on-3 A bomb site. It's looking like one of Saw's best rounds yet so far.
Yeah, player planted down over on that B-bomb site as well, so time factor comes in. They're probably going to hear where he's coming from, etc. Furlan's maybe, or would have been maybe, the only one that could pull off a surprise. However, he'd already crept in and got a kill, so they're going to know where he's at. Contact up for ultimate. You know, it's really not good. Flash comes through. No one really around to act upon it. Furlan now making noise. They know there's a player in from heaven. Trade in for Dodo, nice and quick. Not a lot of time left. Mutiris will have to swap across that Tech 9 and can't hold it. Ultimate just going to go for the hold here. Scopes in. Oh, and nearly baits out Dodo. You saw him hesitate around that corner, but he still goes for it in the end. and Saw will pick up their first round. Goodness me, that I thought he'd done it. I thought he'd mind gamed him, but not going to be the case.
Yeah, edge you see sort of thing. But Saw, it was a pretty heavy eco round to be fair. And the result of that is, even after reinvesting here and buying into this round, there should still be a little bit of cash in the bank. Sododo might be debating the AWP buy. Yet to invest, maybe waiting for the overall call to come in, and indeed does crack out the big green. So, Saw, they've just been given a golden opportunity to get back into this first half. But the work's not done yet because AGO still have cash.
So we'll see. We'll see. And I always say, you know, those kind of pistol rounds can be difficult. I think they still have to reapproach here, and that's obviously, you know, we get a little bit of time. I think Saw are still going to have problems in their rifle rounds unless something drastically changes here. So, see what the move is. Not as aggressive straight out of the gate. A little bit of that utility, of course, but playing much, much safer at the moment.
Slow and steady wins the race. That's what we like to say here in the Queensland. Big UK. His ultimate's on the rotate. Picks up ramp for his teammates whilst they're heavily focused in towards inner right now. Clearly anticipating an inner rush. You can see player up towards Mustang in X-kom, AX Echo. Not sure what we're going for. We'll work it out as we go along. Nevertheless, we'll find a much needed entry.
Yeah, I'm going X-kom. That from our perspective rolls off a little better. But I'm happy to be wrong. I think he's the 16-year-old. I could be. It's him or Ultimate.
Do you think the X is pronounced like a Z, like Zeko or something?
Maybe.
Zeko.
That sounds very cool, but I'm really not sure. I must admit. Ooh. Okay, hold on. Biku in a bit of weirdness here. Finds one on the edge of the smoke. Gets another. He probably gets all three if he had more ammo, but he ran out. Still, 2 there is pretty big. It evens things back up for the squad and, you know, really throws Saw into disarray. They've got a player down below. They've got Just with the bomb going heaven. So this is all getting a bit strange at the moment. 15 seconds left as well, by the way. Arky loses his fight. Just 10 seconds. Going to creep in. Needs to get both here. Oh, it's Stododo. That was nearly one of the craziest shots. It was Stododo that finds it. All the same, they manage with a couple seconds to spare to get that bomb down. And I feel like Ultimate, despite having a fantastic game so far, probably needs to save, and he's actually going to lose his head. So, Saw, 2 on the trot, breaking the bank. This is looking better.
On the move, and all catalyzed off the back of the Eco round win. And they're capitalizing at the moment. There is still cash in the bank for AGO to make an investment. AWP, of course, still on Ultimate. 3 M4s in play. There is just the 1 kit on Le Mans. Hopefully it gets put to use, but Arky already finds the opening pick. Super aggressive as Arky finds another. The ramp aggression in the first few rounds of this half was doing so much work. But Saw have learned from their defeats. They've adjusted, and now it's AGO struggling to put off these aggressive moves.
Rough. Very, very rough indeed. Ultimate, just a bit short on the timing. Maybe could have got in behind them. Probably going to be an anticlimactic end to this round, folks, with an AK in hand here. But yeah, Saw, I suppose this is it, isn't it? Like, when you're rolling so quick, you can lose the rounds fast, but you can also start winning them quickly. You know, your momentum shifts insanely fast. And they're obviously very confident here. And I feel like, you know, everyone involved in Nuke at the moment is looking more towards that CT side, but all the same, playing a very, very simplistic kind of T side, and sometimes that can come across as very flat. Sometimes once they find an in, once they reaffirm their confidence, it can also look pretty dominant. And maybe that's what we're getting in the past couple of rounds. You know, that small opportunity off the back of the pistols has absolutely flown away now for Saw.
I think it has to be said, though, that it feels like AGO, they're the ones actually setting the pace here. They're the ones getting aggressive first, trying to take space. And as I was mentioning, it did work brilliantly at the start of the half, finding so many entry kills and catching Saw off guard. But you need to learn the limits and really respect why the aggression is working. And now that Saw are loading up in it with numbers, they just find the frags on the aggressive players, and from there, the rounds are easy to play out. So, AGO need a little bit of a rethink of this defense, and I think before the next gun round, a pause might also do them a lot of good to reflect on what's been going wrong and make a few adjustments.
Well, we'll see. Power of the 5-7, of course, has been all the rage the past few weeks, and, you know, crystal ball, mate. I better start betting on the lottery or something. Because before I even finish getting the sentence out, 5-7s have picked up 3 kills, I think, for the squad here in total. And now it's time for AGO to give Saw a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, just after they started to build up some momentum and bank up a little bit of cash, their loss bonus will be down in the dumps now after winning a few in a row. So this would be a horrible round to lose. It was such a low investment around, I believe, just the sole save. Another AWP's already been recovered. 2 AKs. Nuterius is trying to find some jewels. But that's not going to be the case. And it looks like the bomb is dropped out the front of Hut. And with 4 defenders on the A-bomb site, you might even think about saving here. They do find 1 kill initially. But how on earth do you crack this open? And now it's only Nuterius to face the music.
Hidden away at the bottom of vent, hoping for some luck. You'd assume at this time in the round, he can only really hope for damage, but they are not giving him anything, and they are not that keen to hunt. 2 AKs and an AWP. It's a great boost. AWP, of course, previously saved, but all the same, it remains. So, Nuterius, it's all good. Surviving after time, you get no money. Of course, a lot of you know that, but he's got plenty in the bank anyway, so it's not going to set the economy into a very strange spot that it sometimes can. However, AGO very quickly regaining control, getting a pistol round of their own, and now would love to just repeat some of the success that Saw have had and find themselves a few more in a row, break that bank, keep Saw down in the dumps. So we'll see. Pretty important round here for the swing of this first half.
Yeah, almost everything invested as well from the Portuguese squad. As AGO, they're going to keep kind of hammering home the aggression, but this time it's over towards Outer, as it looks like Le Mans was taking a duel in Hut. He's going to fall. Players are getting down the vent. This round is all over the place, and AGO need to work out what's up and adjust quickly, or this could be a disaster.
Getting scary. Down the ramp they'll go. First kill comes in for Arky. Stododo as well was already there, of course, and able to just charge forwards and find that rotator. 5-on-2. Save. Absolutely. So Saw straight back into it with the rifles. And that's a very worrying sign. I'm sure that AGO would have loved to find some more consistency with the rifle rounds and get back to their winning ways, but where Saw were able to use the pistol to its fullest advantage, for them, it's maybe a bit more of a fluke. So we'll see here. This is getting very dangerous in this first half.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Le Mans died at the start. Off the basis of the mini-map, I'd guess he was playing in Hut, or maybe he fell off Mustang and took a duel, or maybe got mollied off Hut and killed. Something bizarre was happening, but nevertheless, when your team is playing aggressively on Outer, you can't be affording to lose numbers inner. You immediately force AGO to make bad rotations and have to guess and have to force themselves into kind of positions and fights they don't want to take, and you could just see how Saw there had all the map control, and from there was nothing AGO could do. So the only silver lining is, the only good news is, off the back of that eco win, they do have money for a very good investment. But these rifle rounds have been anything but clean in the last few from AGO.
Furlan going to open up here early on, just manages to find ultimate outside. Furlan going for a little bit more, but just rips his head straight off. The man is here, hears his footsteps, and wow, follows that audio beautifully, taking down Just, drops the bomb. Stododo, however, trying to capitalize and find a gap, and he might just have done. If he can get in towards heaven, going to give them an awful lot of control. You know, all this action happened so early on. Still 1 minute and 10 left in the round, of course. So they've got plenty of time to work around and squeeze themselves in. You can see not a clue from Le Mans right now. Dodo will take him down. A bomb site, completely clear. In from Mini they come, and a great crunch here once again. An Ago save it has to be.
Clean stuff in the end. Good trades on towards outer. And from there, it was so tricky for AGO. They are posturing a little bit towards ramp. I dare say, without over-aggression, without frags, they shouldn't be attempting this retake. So, saves should be on the cards very soon. But AGO, for me, they've only got one game plan here, and it's aggression. Started off the game with a lot of lobby and ramp. Now it's towards outer, and it's getting a bit concerning because Saw are consistently now winning the duels. They're getting good trades. The spacing is good, and this aggression isn't netting the results that AGO wants. And I fear, Swift, that they're piling on the aggression because they don't have so much confidence in the ability to play out the late rounds and sit on utility. Maybe they're not really fans of that on Nuke. So AGO, their game plan isn't working, and they need to change it, or Saw could get up to an excellent terrorist round haul.
Well, here we are. Pause coming through. Absolutely need to work it out. And they know it. If we can read that, they've read that, of course. So, very scary territory ahead. And again, as we've said, the Saw team, I think they work pretty heavily off of momentum. When it's working, they can look absolutely unstoppable. Ago, meanwhile, maybe need a little bit more sense to their game usually, the way that they've liked to approach things. Of course, these kind of recent additions, etc. But it has to make a bit more sense. It has to have a bit more structure to it. They did play well in those early rounds, you know, the initial sort of keep your guns up. They're playing very fast. Get ready for any fight round any corner. But Saw slowed it down slightly, and that seems to have cracked it at this point in time. Stododo knows his angles. Furlan, before he really even gets his bullets round the corner, to be honest, he'd already just started, you know, kind of pre-firing round it. He's just gone. So, another early pick for Saw.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of fundamentals and discipline is how you deal, and communication is how you deal with really aggressive teams, and Saw have cleaned up so much in the last few rounds, and you can just see the spacing is really good, the utility is good. The moment someone gets spotted aggressively, clearly the comms are super clean, so just whip that over and make sure everyone's ready. Feek on the off angle does find a first, and he should never have got away with a second there, but he does find the frags, and this round has really stalled out for Saw. They had so many numbers penned in on ramp. They sent in all 5, I believe, and you can just see how, without being able to apply different angles of pressure, it's become very difficult this round. Bomb is below heaven, and that needs to be recovered ASAP.
They work in this chaos, though, don't they? They've strewn it, and a little bit of luck there for Mutiris, but maybe it gives them the in that they need. They'll group back up, grab this bomb, and look elsewhere. Now, Le Mans, pretty good movement, pretty good spot for him. 17 seconds as well, by the way. They've also left a player down this, surely. Axjo's got the spot. Not even going to check him. Yeah, straight in for the bomb plant, and he gets the 2K. I mean, the patience there pays off. You know, 1 safe on A, 1 safe on B. It's a bit risky, as we say, but when the time is low, there's no rush. Really solid stuff and a great recovery from Ago.
Good round, good stuff. Both teams good money in the bank. Or it was before the investments, but actually a real swing round here. Both teams really low on the loss bonus. This is going to set the tone for the rest of this half. This could be 10-5 AGO or Saw winning it out with 8-7, and Stododo, an all-important entry. He's had a really brilliant map so far, and that's come mainly off the rifles, to be honest, given how low the economy has been. And AGO yet again playing from a deficit, and now we need to see those solo plays to get them back to at least even, and some information as well would be great.
Imagine how differently this half could have gone if they'd maybe, you know, not lost so many opening duels. And they are sometimes a little kind of stubborn in their energy, right? Ultimate trying to make a contact play, those solo plays that you talk about. Gets away, but on low HP. Axcho. Whoa, this is going to be a rough one, mate. In for one. Immediately traded. Maybe not quite good enough. We'll see. Orp is down. Shot missed. He's able to just about make it away. Nade could take down one. No, Stododo survives. Bullet lands onto Roman. But all the same, still an advantage. Going to get that bomb down. Remaining two CTs coming in from different angles and very slowly at that.
Stododo still hammering home. 2 more for him in this round, and Furlan. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you save here, you got no money in the next anyway. He finds a frag, collects a kid, and actually given Stododo's HP bank of only 2, if he can somehow isolate that fight, it becomes more doable. But behind the silos, Stododo's giving no opportunities, and Furlan says, I have no chance here. Saw up to 6, and AGO's investment in the next is going to look extremely worse for wear outside of Furlan.
Not an easy road by any means. It's, yeah. Obviously, the major going on right now, and that's that super high-level Counter-Strike. I think this is just very fatiguing to be a part of. You know what I mean? This is so... I think it's like the tension of the major can be quite tiring. In this, it's all the fights that are going on. The pacing is just so high. And I think certainly that is difficult for a team like AGO, it appears, to kind of deal with. Still in the lead. Still looking solid, but I think Saw only have themselves to blame, or mostly, I should say, have themselves to blame in those early rounds. And they are set to even things up here, it looks like. In the smoke. Oh, he nearly gets away with it, but Arky on the reaction shot just immediately takes him down. Low HP onto 1. Furlan goes for a play outside, but it's being watched patiently. And that's all the danger removed from this round, really. So, should be easy pickings for Saw.
Ready to put the brakes on, though. You can see that. They're just waiting here for a next move. They're just barreling in, meeting the 3 players. Of course, they don't even know that it's only USPs, so why risk it into Deagle armor? Maybe that saved AK has moved around as well. Don't want to take any risks on that front. And they're going to decide Mutiris is going to come up from secret. He's scouting out the yard position, clearing garage for the moment. And we'll see where Saw choose to go into. They're still really taking their time, but as the clock dwindles, they're going to have to make a firm decision pretty soon, and that's going to be A.
Should be good. Only the 1 player around. Nothing to stop them at this point, as he doesn't even move in towards, I thought, you know, the heaven movement, but they're really banking on the fact that someone's going to walk into this little triple crossfire. Don't think it's going to be the case. So moving forwards, you know, an even half on Nuke, which is what we're looking at, right? Obviously, one team can take the lead by a round, but personally, I just don't feel at the moment that it's quite enough. I think Saw have done a great deal of work here for their own map pick as well. You generally expect the T side of a squad to look a bit weaker when they're not used to the map. It's not like it's completely foreign for AGO, but all the same, I just don't think that this is quite good enough.
5-0 start as well for AGO, and they had really, really immense economic control at that point. It was the kind of low buy, force buy win that got Saw back into this game, and AGO's really fizzled away since then. And as you mentioned, they keep piling on the aggression, and they keep losing the opening duels, so it seems only a matter of time until that really bites in the backside. It has done the last few rounds, but I question what AGO are going to go for here. Do you get aggressive again? Or do you switch into a different B plan?
Well, so far, final round of the half. Just... no one going down as yet, which feels a bit rare. Furlan, though. Oh! Are you kidding? What is the look there? Fiku going to find one as well. And firmly locked out. Arky's been, I think, dinked through a smoke, maybe. All the same, very low in a 5-on-3. Should be the 8th for AGO, I guess. Would be quite something if Saw can pull this one back. Max Cho. Maybe a little slow on the reaction, but it's all good. He was just the distractionary player. Ultimate surely has got the job done.
Just Roman remaining. Puts his smoke down, but there's a player already at double doors. And this feels like an insurmountable scenario. To already come away with 7 rounds is a great achievement, but I don't think 8 is going to be possible. Opens the doors. Barrel actually sticks through it. How on earth is neither of these players dead yet? Roman finds the frag, so he makes it a 1-on-2, but now he's given away his position. No utility. Surely they just rush him down on the bomb plant. He's trying to clear out the angles, but it just doesn't feel possible. Bit of a tap. It does bring him down, but nobody's facing, and as he sticks here, it could be all she wrote. Swinging out. Well, a man is going to find the frag. It's going to be 8 rounds for AGO, and considering they started up 5-0, they would have wanted a little bit more out of it, but ultimately taking the round lead going into the second half. Can they keep it going? Find out in a few minutes.
love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Hello, welcome back. We are here for half number 2, of course, as it was a keen recovery there from Saw. Slow start, but Ago dropped around to the pistols and then just seemed to lose it. They did manage, indeed, to find the one at the very end of that first half, but now they move on to the much tougher T side. I'm intrigued to see what they have planned. It looks like a fast A to start things off. Straight into some dualies, though, by the looks of things, and Just has made a great little move here to gain some control towards the hut, as well as getting himself a double kill. Roman helping him out for a third, and now Just Ultimate, who was, of course, the utility thrower. 4 on 1 for the young gun, and he's left very low indeed. So, surely not a chance. Maybe a kill, maybe some kill bonus. It should be round over in just a sec here. Ooh, okay. Nice flick. Does eat a bullet. And there you are. Mutiris goes wide and takes him down. So, pretty clean round, all things considered from Saw.
Yeah, given the map bias, though, it felt like AGO could have benefited a lot from winning that pistol. Doesn't come to be, and no bomb plants, so I'd be pretty stunned if they choose to reinvest behind this. Only the Glock's in play, a little bit of utility, maybe that will go down the vent dive smoke, maybe. We'll see where it lands. Choose to sit on it for the moment, but we should expect these nades to try and at least aid a bomb plant. That would be awesome. The Saw will do everything in their power not to allow it. So, just the Glocks here. But any damage, any bomb plants would be epic for them moving forwards.
Has that failed?
No, I think it
be a garage
probably
smoke, or is it
was
just sort of a cover everything a little bit smoke, you know?
Well, I think it's just with the... Normally you do the L smokes.
Yeah.
And you do the one in garage and the 2 from kind of mini to the edge of garage. They only had 1 smoke, so it was pick your poison. You can't smoke everything.
Yeah.
So I think they wanted to smoke that one and then pop through it on the flash. But kind of worked for the first frag, but not so much behind it. This is what we're here for. And the investment's pretty good. 2 fam assisted in play for Saw, so AGO, we want to see them hit the ground running. An early gun round would do wonders for them.
Interesting, isn't it? You know, I'll hold the point because they are just going super fast here, and, well, not so hot. Just in with a triple from on top of Silo. That will be all she wrote. I was going to give them a really, you know, solid kudos for... We saw Saw go for that early rifle buy. Didn't really focus their utility as well, in our opinion. And then Ago, they go for it there. A lot more flashes, which really is going to work for a fast rush. However, despite kind of being blinded up and whatnot, didn't work. So sometimes, you know, the theory is not everything. And now Saw off to a flying start in this second half, denying bomb plants away and everything. So Money really in a rough spot for Ago, as well as the round starting to get away from him.
Yeah, I'm sure for AGO, there was a logic behind the call. Maybe they thought... bit of a bonus round from Saw, maybe they'll aggress out, or maybe they'll stack ramp, but clearly as we saw, they had all the utility in the world. They had players on the bomb site as well as main, and with players spraying through the smoke, especially on the A1s, it was never going to end well, and it didn't, and Saw kept so many numbers alive. So Saw are firmly in the driver's seat right now, and if they keep this anti-eco clean, for my money, they'll be streaking a long way ahead here on their map pick.
Assistance coming in from Stododo here. Blinded the close player. Fails his nade. Whoopsie daisy. But Arky is using all this utility to his advantage all the same. And now the support's in. The crunch towards lobby as well. Should be all she wrote. And it will. Not a single player going down. Super good stuff right now from Saw. And moving fast, playing aggressive. You know, it's something that Ago tried. Kind of worked initially. Couldn't keep it up. I guess the question now becomes, can Saw keep it up. We've got another rifle buy coming in, and actually an AWP, something that we didn't see a great deal of on the Sortie side. They opted, as many teams do, to just kind of stick with the rifles for the most part. Few AWPs, maybe if they pick one up or whatever. But here we've got Iron Ultimate going straight towards it, obviously having a cracking game, so feeling pretty confident that can change your options slightly. It doesn't necessarily limit them, but it changes the direction that you maybe want to go.
Yeah, it looks like Arky here has been shot through the wall by an AWP. Immediately down to 1 HP. And given he's the ramp player, what angle do you take? Looks like he's playing a bit of an off angle on the left side. One bullet and he's down, and that's a lot of map control over to AGO. And Roman's decided, I need to get aggressive. I don't like my teammate being low. He's actually going to fall by the wayside, and the low player is still alive here. 4 and 3 for AGO, and they know Arky's tagged. Great opportunity, but it all falls apart. Mutiris, right place at the right time. And this is starting to crumble for AGO, isn't it? Not looking on the same page.
Yeah. Axcho, the only one left. I mean, as far as 1v3s go, one of the more doable ones out there. Ooh. Made noise, though. That's slightly annoying. He was obviously looking to avoid that. Checking his surroundings. 30 seconds. Last smoke goes down. Last piece of utility for this Source side goes down. And he's just hoping. If he gets one on a platter, he can probably move in and try and make something happen, but nothing happening, right? And at this kind of level, clutching up on Nuke when they've got the bomb can be nigh on impossible. And it's not disaster zone just yet. He doesn't need to go for it. Now, they will be kicking themselves. Great start. Look really good. Low HP. Man advantage. You know, they had everything set up to go for them. It's definitely not a guaranteed win, but it's about 70% of the way. And maybe just getting a bit too giddy there on the A-bomb site, letting the spray down come through the smoke.
Maybe could have used a little bit more utility, but perhaps they didn't have all the bells and whistles by that point in the round. And actually, it's a pretty heavy force buy here. Of course, with the save coming through, but Ultimate's full invested. Galil and a flashbang, and the others have hardly scrimped at all. So AG will be wanting to get a lot of value out of this round, if not the round win itself. And Mutiris again. Smoke Criminals on the server, and he doesn't even have the 2K at the end of his name.
Indeed, mate. But he's feeling it. It's in his soul. Arky, ready to go on the double doors, or the smoke. Maybe didn't help him there in the end, as he just couldn't readjust his crosshair to find them all. All the same, trade is in. Fiku only one left. If they only lose one in this round, they will be happy, and that's going to be the case indeed. So, flying, absolutely unstoppable right now. Seemingly can do no wrong. Ago wanted a bit out of that buy. That's what Alan said. They got a kill, which is not really that much, is it?
No, look at the CT money here. Completely out of control. And they're keeping so many players alive that Stododo's rarely been able to buy into the AWP. And maybe even at this point, he's feeling it so much on the rifles. Why fix what isn't broken? As the AGO are thick and fast, running out of opportunities. Ultimate's taken his spawn aggressively towards red. He's taken a lot of nade damage for his efforts. And not so much map control here. Furlan gets flashed around with Mutiris. Oh, he looked away at just the wrong time. So, a much-needed entry for AGO, and they have to convert this.
Furlan getting another. Looking good. Com's not quite there. At the very least, he's, you know, playing him like a fiddle right now. So now, definitely need to convert it. And it also becomes a question of should convert it just on top of the hut. He's good for one. It's a difficult position to get more from. However, with all this chaos, and of course, you know, the sort of outside watchers, as it were, taken down, they have made their way down towards B, which now maybe starts to write the round off a little bit.
Keep an eye on Roman.
Here, relatively quick. Alan's pointed out a Roman flank, as you can see on your minimap. Number 2, here he is. Or could have gone to deny the bomb. Instead, takes the safer play, just makes sure to get the frag. Will fall, and it's unfortunate. Could have been perfect. Could have been perfect. Isn't that the game of inches, though? You know, you could see he was full plant, he was full ready, but I think it's that sort of instinctive shoulder peek. You don't quite know what he's doing. Peek back in, you know, hesitate and don't go for the full swing. Could have made all the difference. All the same, AGO going to get their first rifle on the board.
So then, would have liked to have got a few more frags out of that to keep AGO firmly in the position of being full reset. That's not the case. There's a bit of money in the bank as they double nade early there as the T side. You can do that, but you don't see it very often. I think it was indeed the early nades, but just still finds the frag, decapitating Furlan. So the utility does work, but just shoots back even harder.
Early Molotov here from Arky. Big nade potential. Yeah, pretty nice. Oh, the molly betrays him slightly, though. Didn't spot the player. And will fall. But you probably can guess that he's done a fair amount of damage there. So it's hard to call who's really on top. We like to give you that, you know, continuous, this team's in the lead here, has a better chance of this round. This one is very, very difficult to know.
But thinking back to the topic we had in the pre-game about Stododo having his period off the AWP and sometimes not looking all too confident, he hasn't AWP'd yet on this CT side, and he definitely could have bought into it here. So I question what the idea is. Maybe he just feels more comfortable on this M4, but it just feels like they're missing a trick a little bit where Stododo could have a lot of impact. These players are trying to shift their way out of Squeaky. It's a matter of timing. Does Roman spot them? Looking the wrong way at the moment. Frags are going the way of Saw, and this offense has been completely stifled.
Wow, yeah, just been absolutely written off. Stododo's here pretty quickly, but surely got to be watched for. Oh, he could find the gap here. Yeah, it's not being held. 37 HP on Axjo. Not impossible. Info coming in. Gets his crosshair there in time, and Stododo's pulled off the 1v2. Doesn't need an AWP, apparently, as he's fairly confident there with the rifle. Looking good. Getting an AK and a bit more utility if it's around, and that'll be the 14th for Saw. So AGO, as soon as they get one, they drop one, and that is disaster. It really is. Saw should absolutely be able to clean up this map now.
Looking good. Looking good, and AGO, a few isolated successes here on the T side. There's still a long way to go. All the cash thrown into this round as well for good measure. And they need to find a lot of traction soon, otherwise this map's going to slip out of control. And there's those nades I was speaking about, Scriv. You don't see them that often at the professional level, but they can do a lot of damage. The later nades there were a little bit too late to do so much damage, though, to just.
Minute and 20. And there you go. Moving insanely slow. Keeping it simple, stupid, as they will just get those L smokes that we talked about a little bit, at least on a basic level. Down. Flash comes in. Mutiris probably wanted another one there. He does actually get it with his final bullet, excuse me, all the same. Two-man advantage. Bomb down. Maybe regretting that they didn't cover off Garage. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's happened here. I mean, limited utility, just misjudging the situation, something along those lines, and it really has cost them too many gaps. Too many gaps to exploit. And now just Fika on 11 HP. Not a hope in hell.
Falling flat, falling flat. And without a bomb plant, this investment as well is going to be worse for wear. For the AGO squad is Saw. They started this map 5-0 down, Scriv. And since then, it's been a pretty storming run. All the successes from AGO have been so isolated and struggling to string rounds together and build up any economy since that early success. And Saw really showing why they picked into this map. They look phenomenal right now.
Big nade onto Fiku to kick off. Flash doesn't quite make it round the corner. Just holding close. Does not get checked. He will be traded out, though. It's actually Furlan that opens up all the action. Le Mans found Arky lurking around side lobby. Quick 1-for-1 trade, and, well, there you go. I mean, up in the pace. Hail Mary. Let's just go for it, and it does work. Now, doesn't give them the chance, really, back into closing the gap. Still plenty of money available for Saw.
Bit of a pause here. Assume attack pause from, could be either team, to be honest. Probably Saw to have a quick discussion, understanding that they're in the lead, they're on the stronger side, they have a good buy here, but if they let it slip away, this quickly becomes a 15-12 game, a 15-14, and then you're playing for overtime, so take a pause, talk through it. Stododo's yet to buy. I'm expecting the AWP to come out as a little bit of a switch up. He's going to stick on the rifle, actually, so that's clearly his comfort zone in this game. And now we'll see if Saw, after taking that pause, can compose themselves and make this ultimately a clean win.
We'll see. They go back to sort of their more regular setup, more regular ways, more regular default, I suppose, is the word that I'm looking for there, Alan. There you go. It's hard, isn't it, to make that aggression continually work, really. So, looking to play it a bit slower and hoping that Saw themselves will move with a bit more confidence. Not the case. Much, much slower. And again, that tension kind of in the air at the moment.
Stacking up here in lobby. 4 players towards Squeaky. You've got Axcho working himself down secret and actually going to vent dive behind this. Furlan working with pace. Finds the Mac 10 headshot. Ultimate chimes in with a second. And I think Saw need to immediately save here. You're not retaking this bomb site. Play the long game. And I'll tell you what, AGO, they've ramped the pace up significantly in the last few gun rounds, and their entries have been excellent.
Yeah. Trying to take a leaf from the Saw book. Now, it does maybe come a bit late. I feel like if you can give me a 15-13 in this scenario, then maybe I can turn some opinions around and start to believe in AGO and the comeback. But at the moment, not quite. They might have a bit of leeway. These saves are going to be quite big, actually. Still gives you a substantial defense into the next round. And Saw, if I know them, might just go for it. I don't know. What would you call here? What would you do here?
Tricky. Very tricky. I can see why they're buying. I think, for me, full eco, stack the guns up in the same place, and try and just play for maximum gun rounds. Economic damage is not a big deal. You're just playing for obviously the final round win at this point. So I definitely see why they invested. Many would do the same. I would lean slightly more cautiously, but not to say this is the wrong play. That this gap that Sirius has got, this could be so important. Stododo already finding a frag for himself. Arky chiming in as well, and AG have taken a lot of damage on a couple of these players. This feels like it could be the end. Unless they draw something up from nothing here.
Well, now's the time to do it. This is one of those defining moments as a squad, as a, you know, that was a really good round. Really proud of the boys, even though we might have lost. We did pull off something a bit more incredible. Now we'll see. That's all very far away, isn't it? We've got potentially 2 more maps to go, but a round like this, you know, it could, at the very least, turn the tide in this map. Hoping they can find something on B and, well, some space. Quick towards Rampart 2, though. And now as the bomb goes down, of course, the move will come in. But these Ramp players going to try and distract out. Nice little retake smoke here. Set up pretty well to deal with the Ramp players. Ultimate trying to find the angle. The ultimate angle, one might say. But he's turning away from all these flashes. He's able to spin back around, though, and find one. Gotta read in that there's another there. Trying to help his teammates out to hold from Decon. Getting spammed from both sides. It's just Furlan, and he can't get it done. He gets overwhelmed, and that will be Saw finding number 16.
What a map from Stododo. A little bit critical throughout. then maybe he could have walked a little bit more. But overall, a great map. And Saw are going to take that one and be 1-0 in the series.